Will Rogers phenomenon, applying the concept in counseling. 1. Understanding the Will Rogers phenomenon. The Will Rogers phenomenon describes how the reclassification of individuals or data between groups can improve the averages of both groups without any real change in the overall data. It's named after the humorist Will Rogers' quip. When the Okies left Oklahoma and moved to California, they raised the average intelligence in both states. For example, if a low-performing individual in a high-achieving group moves to a lower-achieving group, it can raise the average performance of both groups due to relative improvement. In counseling, this phenomenon can provide insight into self-perception, group dynamics, and comparisons, particularly when clients assess progress or success relative to changing standards or environments. Measure 2. How the Will Rogers phenomenon is useful in counseling. Encourages contextual awareness, helps clients understand how changes in classification or perspective can influence perceived progress or outcomes. Promotes realistic self-assessment, guides clients to evaluate their growth based on intrinsic factors rather than shifting external benchmarks. Supports balanced comparisons, assists clients in reframing unhelpful comparisons and focusing on personal improvement. 3. Practical application in counseling. Identifying shifts in perception. Activity. What changed in the benchmark? Ask clients to reflect on situations where their perception of success or failure changed due to reclassification. Did the standard or group you're comparing yourself to change? How does this shift affect how you view your progress? Example, a client feeling less accomplished after joining a high-performing team might explore how their individual growth still holds value, even in a more competitive environment. Counselor's role. Help clients identify when changes in context or comparisons have influenced their self-perception. B. Reframing comparisons and progress. Exercise. Focus on your baseline. Encourage clients to assess progress based on their starting point rather than external averages. How have you grown compared to where you started? What factors are influencing how you perceive your progress? Example. A client discouraged after being reassigned to a lower achieving team might explore how their contributions elevate the team and reflect their leadership skills. C. Teaching contextual evaluation. Guide clients to evaluate changes in group or personal dynamics with a balanced perspective. How does this change impact the group versus your individual growth? What value do you bring to different contexts? Example. A client who moves to a higher performing gym and feels weaker in comparison might focus on their personal fitness improvements over time rather than group averages. 4. Detailed tips for application. Normalize shifts in perception. Explain that changing contexts or comparisons can skew perceived outcomes, but do not diminish personal progress. Encourage personal benchmarks. Teach clients to evaluate themselves based on their goals and values rather than fluctuating group standards. Focus on contribution. Help clients see how their presence and growth can positively impact groups or situations, even when their progress feels overshadowed. 5. Examples. Career counseling. A client feeling inadequate after joining a prestigious company might reflect on how their unique skills and experiences contribute to the team, regardless of shifting performance benchmarks. Relationship counseling. A client comparing their relationship to higher achieving social groups might work on focusing on the strengths and growth within their own partnership. Self-esteem counseling. A client moving from a supportive to a competitive academic environment might explore how their learning and development remain valuable despite changing group dynamics. 6. Integrating Will Rogers phenomenon techniques into a course of treatment. Initial sessions. Explore how shifts in context or classification have influenced clients' self-perception and discuss how these changes affect their emotions and decisions. Midway through counseling. Use reflective journaling or contextual analysis to help clients evaluate their progress independently of shifting group averages. Ongoing work. Reinforce strategies for personal assessment and highlight how clients' contributions bring value to different contexts. Outcome measurement. Assess whether clients demonstrate improved self-awareness, reduced reliance on external benchmarks, and a greater focus on intrinsic progress. Conclusion. The Will Rogers phenomenon highlights how shifting contexts or reclassification can influence perceptions of progress or success, even without actual changes in individual performance. In counseling, addressing this phenomenon helps clients embrace personal growth, contextualize comparisons, and focus on intrinsic value. By promoting self-awareness, balanced evaluation, and confidence in unique contributions, counselors empower clients to thrive in any environment.